Hi everybody, Martyn at Flicking Feathers again today, and I'm tying a copper dog nobbler. This is a fly that was very popular when I was growing up. There was a lot of spin fishermen and they liked a copper toby, and so folks started tying, when Robert Adams was the first guy I knew, folks started tying dog nobblers and copper to sort of replicate the copper toby, because it was very, very productive for the spin fishermen. And the dog nobbler is good because it gives you a sort of erratic action that you don't get with a standard bead. So, well, there will be materials list in the description, along with a link to the Patreon page for anybody that wants to support the channel, get access to the members only content, monthly fly tying classes, as well as entering the giveaways. Alternatively, you can subscribe, hit the bell button, like the video, share the video. That all helps the channel to grow. Watch it to the end, leave a comment. Now, I've already painted this, but I'm just going to show you how I like to fit the head. Used to be people would complain about the heads coming off, but it was never really something I had a problem with because I fitted them properly. First of all, I got a wee bit of gel super glue and I put it in the groove of a split shot. This is a BB. I'll grab it with my pliers. Now I'll take my hook. Now I'm using a TMCO 708. It's already kinked, but if you want you can just bend your preferred streamer hook. So take it and make sure that the split shot is going to be compressed over the kink, right? And then you can grip it, you can position it, make sure you've got a bit of space so when you paint it you don't sort of flood the eye too much. Then just pinch it flat and take away that excess. I don't know how well you can see it, but they never go in quite straight, right? There's always like one side slightly, like there's slightly more weight on one side than the other, and that's what, it doesn't just jig up and down, it sort of is erratic in its swim, and it really does seem to make a difference. So I've just painted this with model paint. You can see I've put a white undercoat on and a couple of coats of fluorescent red. Now I'm going to start some Danville's 140 Flymaster and fluorescent red as well, so that it kind of blends in up the front. And they're an easy fly to tie. I'm just going to run on a bed of thread. You'll get some sort of brown marabou kind of. This looks a bit darker on the camera than it does in real life, but this is just to add a bit of volume to the tail. It's not the main, it's not the whole tail, just a wee amount. Keep it quite sparse. You'll see, actually just pinch the tips off it. Never cut it with scissors though. And say there's my length, something, just a bit of shank. I'm going to let the flash be longer, but again it's just volume, right? Volume, and it will give you some movement. I'm just going to cover all that with, take it all the way to the front. And then I'll get my flash. I'm using, this is Sparkle Hair from Housby, copper. It's quite a dark copper. If you want something brighter, you can use a brighter copper if you like, but I do like the look of this, and I'm going to get a good amount, right? I must have, I don't know, 25 strands there, something like that. And I'm going to sort of come in, judge my length. I'm going to press it flat, just let the thread kind of carry it, so that I'm covering the whole sort of top of the tail there. Well, it'll actually be the underside, the fly fish's hook point up. Now, because I'm going to fold this back, I'm just going to rush up big open turns and fold it back. Again, put that in, don't worry about it at the moment. And then wind back, and then you should have pretty good coverage all the way around. And you don't need to worry about it too much, you can fix it later, how it's sitting. And I'm just going to come in and cut it at different lengths, stagger those ends. Missed a couple there, so I'll just come in and take them out. I think that's everything. So you can see you get this sort of mass of flashy tail, but there's that wee bit of volume in the middle from the marabou. Take that, tidy it up to until the hook bend, the hook barb. Rib, wide copper wire. And then for my body I'm going to use some wide copper holographic. That's for the rear part of the body. Just catch that in. Wind my thread up, and then I'm going to take this up in overlapping turns, making sure I cover all of the thread. If you want to, you can go up and down, but there's not really any need to. When you get to the front, cross over, tie it away, and then we'll take a full turn with my rib at the back to sort of protect the rear end of the body. And then we'll come up, four wraps, then I'll let my fifth one come across here, and then I can tie it off. Helicopter that away. That was a large copper wire I used. If you want to use a finer wire you can, but it's just about protection. You know, that strong wire really helps to protect the fly, makes it last. So I'm going to put a wee bit of copper flash dubbing. This is just light bright and copper. You don't need to do this, you could just make it the tinsel body, or you could do the whole thing with the dubbing. Just put that on since it's in my hand. And this just gives the hackle a wee bit of support. Again, you could leave the hackle out. It's entirely up to you. I'm just using a sort of natural red gamey hen. It's a bit light, but it's fine. Again, you're just adding more movement to the fly. Now, it's funny, this fly I'd kind of forgotten about it. Then I was talking to George Barron about copper flies after I did the copper bassin video. And we were saying how it's like a kind of underutilised colour among fly tiles for some reason. And it kind of, this came to my head, so I remembered it, and I just thought I'd do the video. So I'm just going to put a few turns of this hackle on. It's not sitting how I like, so I'll just go back. Oops. You know, if you're not happy, if there's something you don't like about the fly, don't just accept it, you know, like, see if you can do it again, and it'll go on. There's 2, make the third turn, that's fine. Catch that, fold it back, put a wee collar, a thread. The hackle won't flatten too much because of the ball of dubbing. Brush out some of that flash. Again, it's movement. Now I would say as well, when you're doing these, do all your painting obviously, like, decide how many you're going to tie, and then do all the heads, paint them up, then sit and tie the bodies. So a whip finish. And then a bit of varnish. Just to seal everything. I've already clear coated the paint to protect it. You could varnish the whole bead again if you want, but you don't really need to. So there you go, that's the copper dog nobbler. It's an absolutely deadly fly, like, it just, and not just for trout, you know, like, I mean, we used to catch a lot of pike in these accidentally, perch. I'm sure that if you fish for bass and all that, any of the freshwater bass species, they'll eat this. Just untangling that tail there for the hook. But there you go. It's, I mean, tie some of these, put them in your box, and you'll be amazed actually, the lead head, because it's not quite even and it's a slightly off shape, it makes the fly move much better than just a tungsten bead will. But anyway, hope that was useful, hope you enjoyed it. If you did, remember to give me a thumbs up below, and I'll see you for another video. Tight lines guys, bye.